about Industry 2.0. Then we became more, we started using PLCs. So we have started putting
नहीं नहीं
all
ऐसे नहीं
those
करना ऐसे करना
controllers, floor mills. So Abhi Patanjali or Shakti Bogart and all those, they have a big mills, right? So that mill is good enough to even feed the entire city. So that's a now we have the actual mass production. That's what we call Industry 3.0. And the era which we talk today is Industry 4.0, where things have become intelligent. So Industry 4.0, if you look at it, the word is cyber physical system. What does it mean? Cyber physical system. Can anyone explain what does it mean? Whenever you talk about Industry 4.0, you will hear this term, cyber physical system. What does it really mean?
System can perform different kinds of tasks without human intervention.
Without human intervention, and they are intelligent, they are interlinked, and they are secure. So we are cyber based, interconnected, and secure physical systems which have become intelligent. So it is more like human and machines are coexisting. So Industry 4.0 is all about human and machine coexisting, working together. So the machines are becoming intelligent, and they are doing these kind of activities where we need more manual labor or the repeated work, while the human can focus more on the next set of activities, next set of automation. But one more thing which you can notice here is the time period. When I said 250 years for this entire revolution, that the time gap is not constant or same. The first period was almost like 100 years. From 1.0 to 2.0, it took us almost 100 years. But from 2.0 to 3.0, it took us less than 70 years. 3.0 to 4.0, less than 50 years. And we are saying the 5.0, the next revolution, we may see it in less than 20 years. Even today, when we are talking about Industry 4.0, we are saying Japan has already started adopting the Industry 5.0. And in next 5 years, by 2030, we can perhaps be moving into that era which will be more about Industry 5.0. So for today's discussion, perhaps I'm focusing more on what we are doing today. What is Industry 4.0? What are the technologies that we are using today? The technology for us today, and how it has changed our life. But have it really changed our life? Have you seen these technologies changing our life? Have you noticed it? So if you look at this slide, this number, a rickshaw wala talking over phone. This is kind of not an uncommon scenario. Everyone nowadays have a mobile phone. Look at these numbers. If you look at India population, look at the number of mobile devices. Look at the number of internet users. More than 80% of population are connected to internet, have mobile phones. Look at the UPI. It's becoming so common. Nowadays, everyone use Paytm or PhonePe. There was a time when we used to say, boss, nothing can replace paper currency. But then gradually started using credit cards. But they have their own doubts using the credit card and frauds and all that. But thanks to Corona or COVID phase, all of a sudden we see a shift, and UPI and these payments become so common. Everyone nowadays is kind of having this Paytm app on their mobile phone, and these shopkeepers, even these kind of a rickshawala will have that Paytm barcode. So becoming so convenient. So technology adoption is almost everywhere. And I don't have to tell you, right? We are all using technology day in, day out. Uber, Ola, these are becoming kind of a way of living. But when we talk about technologies and we say we use these technologies, what are the backbone of those technologies? And I don't want to focus only on IT technologies, because technology is across the board. So even mechanical, electrical, civil, manufacturing, everywhere we use technology. So what I now want to spend few minutes on what are various technologies and how it is shaping up the industry. Okay. So there are 9 technologies that's actually driving the industry 4.0. And those 9 technologies have their impact across various industries. Some industries have adopted technology faster than the other one, but somewhere they are all now have started using various technologies. Let's go one by one. First is the augmented reality, AR. Anyone can throw some light? What do we mean by AR, augmented reality, and then how it is different from virtual reality, VR? क्या डिफरेंस है VR और AR में? Virtual reality versus augmented reality. Anyone? Okay. So virtual reality क्या है? Virtual. Everything is virtual. आप गेम खेल रहे हो, पबजी खेल रहे हो, तो जो मार रहा है वो भी वर्चुअल, जो मर रहा है वो भी वर्चुअल, जिस मशीन में पिस्टल से मार रहे हो वो भी वर्चुअल, वो शहर भी, एवरीथिंग इज वर्चुअल, फेक. दैट्स वर्चुअल रियलिटी, वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड. What is augmented reality? You have digitally superimposed virtual world to the real world. So it's an amalgamation between virtuality and the reality. कोई एग्जांपल देगा मेरे को AR का एग्जांपल? You guys use it every day.
जब भी कोई ऑनलाइन शॉपिंग करते हैं तो कहता है यू कैन जो भी आपका प्रोडक्ट है उसको आप रूम में रख के देख सकते हैं.
एग्जैक्टली. आप अभी अमेजोन की साइट पे जाओ, इफ यू वांट टू बाय अ सोफा सेट और अ चेयर, वो आपको बोल सकता है कि आपकी वो चेयर उस कमरे में कैसे लगेगी, आप वो आपको दिखा देगा. So that chair is not there physically, but it will give you impression that chair is there actually in your room, and then you can see how it looks like with the color combination of your wall and surrounding, whether you want to go for this chair or not. Or any e-commerce portal or shopping site, you go to Lens and you want to buy a frame for your glasses. You can try different frames. You just put your picture, and then you can try to click all those different frames while you're sitting at your home, and you don't actually have those frames. Still, you are actually trying those frames, sitting at your home. So that's what if that is augmented reality, right? So virtual and real world put together. That's one of the driving factor in this industry 4.0. Now, what are the industries which are actually getting impacted? Which industries are adopting this kind of technology? कौन से इंडस्ट्रीज हैं जो इसको ज़्यादा यूज़ कर रही हैं आज के डेट में? मोस्टली द कंज्यूमर बेस्ड इंडस्ट्रीज. सो योर ट्रैवल, ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, होटल, हॉस्पिटैलिटी, ई-कॉमर्स, रिटेल, CPG. Even these travel sites, they can actually make you feel traveling while you're at your home, but they can give you an impression that you are actually roaming around in cities, on the streets of Rome or Venice, because the entire surroundings will be converted and you will be actually standing there. If you have you seen the latest Google map? In the latest Google map, when we start the Google map, sometimes it becomes confusing. Left jana hai, right jana hai. You can't really make out from that Google map. But in the latest, it will actually show you the entire city. So if you're standing there, you have few buildings. If you look at the Google map, the entire building will be visible on your phone. You turn left, you will see the left side building. You turn right, you see the right side building. So it is as good as the building or the entire city you can see on your phone. Even if you have your pets, if you are used to walking with your puppy, you can actually have those puppy as your companion on that Google map. So that's a kind of a power with augmented reality. So you can actually roam around on those Rome or Venice cities while you are still at your home. So these industries are adopting this. Second one is autonomous robots. Autonomous robots. Again, anyone wants to throw light? What it could mean? Autonomous robot. क्या हुआ ये? Robot है, लेकिन autonomous. Autonomous means it has the decision making power. It can think on its own and it can take decisions. Robots हम लोग बहुत टाइम से यूज कर रहे हैं. रोबोटिक इंडस्ट्री में जब आप कार मैन्युफैक्चरिंग और एनी हैवी इंडस्ट्रीज, most of the mechanical work is done by through machines. But then these machines are now becoming intelligent, smart enough. तो आपको उनको बताना नहीं पड़ेगा. So this is where we said now the intelligence is being transferred to the machine. Now, what industries will be adopting these autonomous robots the most? कौन सी इंडस्ट्री ज़्यादा इसको इम्पैक्ट करेगी? Mostly manufacturing industries, because they want their machines to be intelligent. हम पहले वो PLCs लगाते थे, थर्मोस्टेट लगाते थे, सेंसर्स लगाते थे, सेंसर्स के ऊपर वो कट ऑफ हो जाए. बट नाउ वी वांट दोज डिवाइसेस टू बी इंटेलिजेंट एनफ. वो सिर्फ मशीन को बंद ही नहीं करेगा, उसके बाद अगले 4 काम और भी कर देगा. So that's how this manufacturing industry is adopting these kind of robots the maximum. Third is big data. Everyone talks about AI, ML, DL, right? Automation, artificial intelligence, chat GPT. लेकिन वो एक्चुअली है क्या? These are all subset. एक्चुअल में वो है क्या? How they actually live? What actually feeds these automation, these chat GPTs of the world? It's data, right? Big data. अगर आप लोगों ने पीछे देखा होगा, when Mukesh Ambani did a AGM, he actually spoke about the big data, that the Reliance industry so far have been surviving on oil, right? Oil industry, they are the king of the oil industry. And in fact, the next decade, data is going to be the next oil. The industry will actually grow based on the kind of data you manage. All the automation we talk about today, all the artificial intelligence, chat GPT, everyone uses chat GPT, right? We all use chat GPT nowadays. What actually is making that chat GPT successful? Data. Chat GPT नया नहीं है. In fact, this automation is there for last 1 decade. हम लोग ये कब से बेच रहे हैं मुझे पता है. Even 2012, 13, 14, we used to have all these solutions what we are selling today. But those solutions were not successful in those days, but they are very successful today. Prompt लिखते हैं. Now prompt has become so convenient, and it will give you the match which exactly you want. You give the specifications and you will get exactly the same thing that you ask for. How? Because you have the data quality. So there are 2 things which are driving ChatGPT or any GenAI engine. There are 2 elements. What are those 2 elements? First is that the quality and the quantity of data. That there is an enormous data now available so that a machine can think and take decisions better. पहले भी था डाटा. I remember ये Alexa आज की बात नहीं है. ये NLM पहले होते थे. लेकिन वो Alexa पहले सक्सेसफुल नहीं था. क्योंकि आप Alexa से बात करो, most of the time it will not even understand your accent. हम लोग the way we speak, we will have some style of talking, right? So a Gujarati or a Punjabi or a Maharashtrian, they have different style of speaking. Alexa totally failed. 50% or 80% of time it will not even understand what you are talking about. Forget about giving you any result. But now Alexa has become so intelligent, 90-95% it will understand. The accent neutralization has become so powerful. The entire NLM has become so powerful that it will have different patterns for a particular word. So whatever the accent you use, it can still make out what word you are saying. So the quality and the quantity of data has actually made the Alexa or these NLMs more powerful. So they can understand. And then the result that you want. Earlier you do some search, 50% it was, you may get a right response, you may not get a right response. Nowadays, the machines have become so powerful. We say that even what you are thinking, it can read your mind. You would have perhaps, if you have noticed or not, sometimes when you type something on Google, and the auto recommendation will actually fill the text or the word which you actually are thinking. It can read your mind. So that's how the power is. That's how they understand, and that power is coming all through the data, because they understand your history, your search, your past searches, your interests, the websites you have visited, the shopping you have done. All those recommendations are nothing but data, right? And they process the data. So first element is the quantity and the quality of the data. And what is the second element? बस तुम लोग मिस कर रहे हो अगर फोन में लगे रहोगे तो आगे आ जाओ प्लीज इतने पीछे बैठ के ना मिस कर रहे हो मुझे भी मिस कर रहे हो और ये बातें भी मिस कर रहे हो फोर ऑफ यू कैन कम इन द फ्रंट आगे आ जाओ यार इतना दूर क्यों बैठो मेरे से Okay. So first is the quantity and the quality of the data. And what is the second element? Data तो बहुत है मेरे पास, टेराबाइट, गीगाबाइट, जितना बोलो सब है. But now we have the processing power. इतना डाटा को प्रोसेस करने के लिए प्रोसेसिंग पावर भी तो चाहिए. Now we have those components, those processors. कोई मुझे बताएगा which is the fastest growing company right now in the IT industry? एक कंपनी अभी their market cap has crossed $3 trillion. It is almost the GDP of India. NVIDIA. NVIDIA क्या करता है? क्या बनाता है NVIDIA? GPUs. 90% of the GPUs in the world are produced by NVIDIA. So they give you the processing power. These GPUs have now replaced CPUs like anything. Even my laptop, desktop nowadays, they are even coming with the small GPU chip. They want even these machines to become so powerful that they can take those independent decisions. They can run those LLMs. So anything which is those decision-making power, for those decision-making power, we measure them in LLMs. And anything which is less than 15 to 20 billion, we say it's a small LLM. It becomes small. Earlier it used to be huge, but not that. Anything which is less than 50 billion, 50 billion is kind of a medium range. More than 100 billion, yeah, it's a large LLM. So that's the kind of a processing power we have with these machines. Okay. Now, associated to it, your topic also talk about sustainability. You think this is going to have any impact on the environment? Do you think these GPUs, these chat GPT, do they have any impact on the environment? Does chat GPT make any impact on the environment?
Yes, sir.
How?
Carbon emission.
Carbon emission. Very good. Again, other than sir, anyone from this side? How? How chat GPT can impact the environment? हम सब यूज करते हैं चैट जीपीटी. Does it really making any difference to my environment, to my surroundings? हमारा टॉपिक है सस्टेनेबिलिटी.
Processing data, so that is requiring lot of energy.
Heat.
Data
Yeah.
center
11% of our total electricity is being utilized.
Exactly. See, a simple search on Google versus the same search on ChatGPT, the carbon emission is 5.8 times than the simple search on Google. Almost 6 times more carbon emission by using these ChatGPT or these Gen AI tools. Is it really sustainable? Look at the kind of heat it generates, and then the kind of data centers you require, the kind of cooling you require, and to run those cooling plants, again, the kind of energy is required. So while we have this entire Gen AI industry growing, sustainability is actually equally growing. There's a lot of demand. So your topic is very relevant. It's growing technology and sustainability. Both have to go hand in hand. And NVIDIA actually has been kind of asked to look into these factors very, very carefully. You can't have those all processing power packed in a laptop and then make my laptop, harming this environment like anything. Anyway, we are doing a lot of harm to our environment. But think about if these laptops become so powerful, the kind of heat it will generate, the kind of electricity it will consume, and the kind of impact it will have on the environment. Okay. Fourth is how I'm doing on the time. Can I take another 10-15 minutes and wrap up? Is that okay? Cloud computing. I think this is not new. All of us would know cloud computing, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So cloud computing is there. Why cloud computing has become so popular? Because of the data. When you need enormous data, you cannot store all the data in your own data centers. So you start looking something outside. And can I purchase storage? Storage as a service or CPU as a service. That's where the cloud has become common and popular. It started with infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. But nowadays we find, even if you heard the term, anything can be delivered as a service. Anything and everything can be delivered as a service. Have you heard the term cloud kitchen? So now your kitchen can be on cloud. And what about Byju's and Unacademies? Even education can be on cloud. Right? So in Industry 5.0, you may not have these kind of colleges because those universities will take over. May or may not happen, right? Students are spending 4 years in a college just to get a degree. That degree may or may not be relevant. That's where the continuous sustainable and the learning has to happen. We can't learn, unlearn and relearn. But then these are becoming challenging forces and factors. So education as a service, wherever you want, whenever you want. I am not waiting for the lecturer to come to the college and then do a class for me. I just need to switch on my mobile phone or just open the app. Professor is there. Anytime, anywhere, any device, any place, I can get the education. And even the duration is not fixed. I can do a 2-day course or a 6-month course, all flexibility. So anything and everything can become a service. That's the power of cloud. Because all these things are using cloud in the back end. Whatever you see, even all that Gmail or Amazon or all those Prime, all those movies, everything is hosted over cloud. So we feel we are using a mobile phone with 128 GB storage. But you don't know how much storage we are using, back end just by using this mobile phone. But terabyte of data you actually consume every month or every week without knowing, and that all that data is actually stored somewhere on the cloud. Now if you have the big data and you are putting it somewhere outside, you need to make sure it's secure. So cyber security. And this is the most demanding job nowadays. If you ask which is the most prominent or most emerging technology, is cyber security. Because the hackers are becoming smart and intelligent. And the more smart and intelligent they become, the more security you need. So nowadays, hackers don't even hack your website. So when they hack your website, it means you can't access your data. But then you can restore from the backup. So what they will do, they will also hack your data, your backup. So they will hack your online data, they will hack your backup data also. So people started having an offline copy, a server which is not connected to the internet, or perhaps on a tape. So they put a vault. So even you can't restore from those offline backup copies. So when we give a solution to my customer, we actually take 3 backup copies. For every data, for every transaction that we do, there are 3 backups taken. Then only I can say my data is secure. And there is a common saying: if you say that I don't have the cyber attacks or my data is secure, it means you are unaware of it. There is no data which is secure nowadays. Every data is prone to these cyber attacks, and and it's becoming a big industry. Hackers are becoming smarter, so it's becoming a big industry even for us, and that's where the cyber security is becoming the most emerging technology. I'm not going too much into details, but I just want to touch all of these things. We all use cyber security even in our day-to-day life. We do banking transactions, right? Earlier, user ID and password was good enough to access my mobile banking. Nowadays, can I open a mobile app with just user ID password? It will ask me for a OTP also. Every other damn thing, OTP. So it's a two-factor authentication. User ID, password, plus I have to give an OTP which is linked to my mobile number. So that's how the security is also becoming more and more, inside. Next is system integration. What is system integration? System integration is all about we are making use of this globalization. Right? Earlier, one unit running in standalone, but now I can scale both horizontally and vertically. Now all this, so we kind of make a joke when we say make in India. It's not make in India. It's actually assemble in India. We don't make mobile phones in India. We get every other part from neighboring countries. We only assemble in India, and that's a fact. And that's actually the power of globalization also. All these Boeing aeroplanes or all these machines that you see, it doesn't mean that Boeing is built only in US or in these big ships built by China. A lot of these things component by Philippines or Taiwan, they just assemble it. That's the power of system integration. Again, it's a very good topic. How does horizontal integration and vertical integration work? Maybe you can have an offline reading. The next is IoT, Internet of Things. कोई बताएगा IoT क्या होता है? What is Internet of Things? Intelligent devices. IoT intelligent devices.
Trying to integrate the power of internet to those kind of physical systems. Those are not conventionally considered as the electronic system.
Yes. So basically,
and they become so intelligent they can take decisions by their own.
They may or may not take a decision, but at least they start talking to you. IoT क्या है basically? We can use embedded systems पहले भी थे.
And then you integrated AI in them so that they become exact.
Yes. So if I use in a simple term, IoT is we are making the machine talkable. First, we make the machine talk. Machine बोल सकती है. अब हम लोग तो ह्यूमन बीइंग है, हमारे पास वोकल कोड्स हैं, तो हम ऐसे बोलते हैं. मशीन कैसे बोलती है? थ्रू डाटा. सो दे स्टार्ट जनरेटिंग डाटा. वो पहले भी डाटा जनरेट करते थे, थर्मोस्टेट लगाते थे तो डाटा मिलता था. बट व्हाट वी डिड स्मार्टली नाउ, वी हैव गिवन देम अ TCP IP एड्रेस, उनको कनेक्ट कर दिया इंटरनेट के ऊपर. सो नाउ दैट डाटा इज अवेलेबल टू एवरीवन. सो आई कैन यूज दिस डाटा टू मेक insightful and take those decisions. Machines are now becoming intelligent. They give me the more intelligent data, and because that data is available across the ecosystem, the machines now can take better decisions also. तो अभी हम लोग देखोगे इस रूम में बैठ के हम लोग क्या कर रहे हैं. ये इस काइंड ऑफ IOP, इंटरनेट ऑफ पीपल. हम भी तो यहाँ बैठ के बस मुझे जो पता है मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ, आपको जो पता है मुझे बता रहे हो. इंटरनेट ऑफ पीपल, राइट? दैट्स इंटरनेट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, इंटरनेट ऑफ थिंग्स. मशीनें आपस में कनेक्टेड है, बातें कर रही हैं, एक दूसरे की हेल्प कर रही हैं. दैट्स IoT. IoT के बहुत सारे यूज केसेस है स्पेस सेक्टर में. जो भी आप स्मार्ट सिटी की बात करते हो, इवन एवरीथिंग विच वी कॉल स्मार्ट टेलीविजन, स्मार्ट AC, स्मार्ट रिमोट, स्मार्ट एयर कंडीशनर्स, इवन द स्मार्ट हॉल्स, इट्स मीन्स इट्स ऑल IoT ड्रिवन. जहाँ भी स्मार्ट वर्ड आ गया कहीं ना कहीं पीछे IoT छुपा हो उसके. ओके, सिमुलेशन क्या हो सकता है? देयर इज अ वेरी कॉमन वर्ड वी यूज विद सिमुलेशन, योर डिजिटल ट्विन, राइट? तो आप रियली किसी फिजिकल चीज के ऊपर एक्सपेरिमेंट नहीं कर सकते, बट यू कैन क्रिएट अ डिजिटल ट्विन और उसके ऊपर आप सारे एक्सपेरिमेंट कर सकते हो. ये पहले भी थे. कॉकपिट होते थे, जैसे वो पायलट्स ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं तो वो MiG-21 क्रैश तो नहीं करेगा, तो पर उसको ऐसी सराउंडिंग मिलेंगी कि एज गुड एज इफ he's sitting in a plane and flying that MiG-21. But now these simulations have become more powerful. You know, it can give you the real-time environment, and now with AI, it can actually do a lot of work which you may not even want it to do. अभी हम वो डीप फेक की बात करते हैं, right? What is that? It's all simulation. आप वहाँ नहीं हो, but you can be simulated. आपने वो नहीं बोला, but it can be simulated. Today morning I saw one YouTube video. I can create my own digital avatar and he become a social media influencer. I may not be very good in talking, or I might be a shy person, or my accent might be bad. There is an app now. I will give the entire text, whatever I want to speak. Feed that text avatar. It will look like he is talking, and he will be talking better than me. Because there will be no accent, it will be all neutralized, the pronunciation, the eye contact, the face expression will be all perfect. So if you want to be an influencer, if you want to create your own reels and videos, but you are not confident, showing yourself, create your digital avatar, and he can be a social influencer. So that's the power. In fact, a lot of industries are using. So this is very common example. Any other example we have seen in simulation? Do you think we can use simulation in pharma and healthcare industry?
हमारे में vaccines were developed by simulation.
So look at Corona or COVID days. What is the typical time to manufacture a new medicine? What is the typical time required if I want to bring a new medicine to the market? What do you think? How long it requires actually?
Conventionally, when we try to do some drug discovery, it conventionally take 10 to 12 years.
10 to 12 years. That's a typical time period. Typical time period. What happened during the Corona days? We have no choice, right? We can't wait for 10 to 12 years. All those vaccines were produced in 8 to 10 months. Whether it was right or wrong, it's a different discussion. But they use a lot of simulations, simulating on the not the human beings. Even animals cannot be used nowadays. But they actually created those scenarios where they can do the experiments, and then those results are approved by the authorities. If you look at those skin products, all those powder, nail polish, lipsticks, they go through a lot of experiments, no? And then you need to submit those reports. But how will you try those powder on a human skin? Right? It's not allowed, and you can't use animal also. So what they did is you have the digital skin, a skin as good as your own skin, with a digital skin. So you do all those experiments on the digital skin, and the results are approved by the regulators. This is the power of simulation. Okay, and the last one is additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing सुना है किसी ने? 3D printing तो सुना होगा. क्या है 3D printing? Normal manufacturing में कैसे करते हैं? How do we what is the kind of manufacturing we have in the normal way? आप कोई कास्केट बनाओगे, कोई फार्मा बनाओगे, मेटल यूज करोगे. That's how we do the mass production, right? Which means lot of energy is required, lot of waste happens. Additive manufacturing is all layer by layer manufacturing, layer by layer, and it's inverted manufacturing. अगर आप लोगों ने थोड़ा पढ़ा हो, it's inverted. आपको अगर एल्फिल टावर बनाना है, एल्फिल टावर का पहले टॉप बनाओगे और फिर बेस बनाओगे. That's how it works. तो in earlier days it used to be more for the prototyping. छोटे मोटे काम के लिए हम उसको यूज करते थे, क्योंकि आराम से वो कर सकते हो, बिना वेस्ट के कर सकते हो, खर्चा कम होता है. आपको नॉर्मल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करनी है, यू नीड अ बिग प्लांट, बिग सेटअप. एडिटिव मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के लिए यू नीड अ स्मॉल यूनिट. तो पहले क्या होता था, इट वाज मोर अबाउट जस्ट फॉर प्रोटोटाइपिंग. बट नाउ डेज अगेन थैंक्स टू टेक्नोलॉजी, you can do mass production with additive manufacturing. Countries like China, they are actually prototyping the entire city. They are building the new cities using 3D printing. एक पूरा का पूरा शहर बना रहे हैं. गली बना सकते हैं, स्ट्रीट बना सकते हैं, घर बना सकते हैं. एक घर बनाया, 3D प्रिंट किया, पूरी स्ट्रीट में वही घर बना दिए. वो जब बोलते हैं ना कि चाइना हैज बिल्ड अ न्यू हॉस्पिटल इन 9 days or a new railway station in 36 hours. They are doing a lot of this additive manufacturing to do those assembly growth. So these are the technologies. Any question here? Okay. So from the IT perspective, big data, AI, and IoT. These are the three things which we use. Because I am from the IT industry. So these are the three technologies that we use on daily basis. But then it doesn't mean that I'm limiting myself to these technologies. Manufacturing, education, banking, pharma, retail, CPG, travel, transportation, they also use these kind of technologies in a varied degree. Okay, this is my second last slide. Industry 4.0 is all about human and machines working together. And this is a very good example. Guys who follow cricket, they know that there is a third umpire in cricket nowadays. So we have 2 field umpire and 1 third umpire. Who is the third umpire is? It's a machine. Third umpire is nothing but a machine. So human and machine coexist. Technology is not replacing the human being. It is actually helping the human being to make game better, fair, more enjoyable. Okay, but all this requires change. Right? Education industry typically being called as legacy.